you had wheat ground or something close to the facilities, that crop coming off in mid-July here works for those brassicas or combinations for the fall. Can give you a lot of November, December grazing, weather permitting.
Right.
We do that at my place in November, graze the whole month of November, graze brassicas. But usually you get to December 1, Mother Nature's turning a page on you, and it can end in one day where you get ice or you get a foot of snow, and it becomes a non-viable option for you to graze those. So something else.
Right. So the other thing is fencing. Most all his ground, being the dairy, the cows were all confined, and so there was pretty much non-existent fence anywhere. It was all crop ground, hay field, whatever. So we've been everywhere where we've taken the cows, we've had to install fence, and that's a time requirement, while you're trying to get your crops in or get your crops up or whatever. It takes a lot of time to get all that in. And one guy asked, coming up here, our spelt is about 3 miles north of here, and we would have grazed the clover, but hauling the cattle up there, no fence, all that. But like if the spelt was right here and that clover was there, we'd zip the fence up and would have grazed it.
So she had the average in there, and what we're trying to do is we're trying to get these fat by between 18 and 20 months. I'll give you a synopsis of where we come from, where we're going, to give you an idea of where we're headed. Is we're taking wean these whenever we run out of grass in the fall. Last year is October 20th we weaned them. We'd like to get through to January 1's our goal. We haven't made that yet. The farthest we've made it is like to the December 21st. But the goal is once we wean them off is we will put them on a high energy ration. We try to put them on alfalfa baleage or alfalfa hay because without having that window of the 2 year to get them fattened in that second year, we believe we run into so much problems with cost analysis up here this far north because of our snow. So these here will be 18 to 20 months, and we start them once they're weaned on, we try to get a low NDF around 45 or below, and sometimes we'd like to get it around 40 if possible. We're also taking, and of course we want our energy up there above 65 if we can. We can't always feed that good, but we try to. And basically, like Jason said, I have a dairy background, but feeding these animals out to me is just like feeding a dairy animal, because you're looking at high production, high energy, and low NDF. They're not used to all these people around here. So they should stop at the fence, hopefully. Nope, they didn't. So anyway, that's the process we look at here. Originally, we were thinking we would use this maybe for the cows, let it get mature and let them eat it. But we were running out of good forage when we got to this, so we thought, we've got our energy levels high enough on this that we're going to put them into this, and I think from the looks of them, we're starting to get gains like we'd like. I think they're going to finish out, and we're going to be right in the area we'd like to be in that November 1 to December 1 time period. We'll be done this. We're probably going to get 35 days of grazing out of this, maybe 38. So we planted this in the spring. We had a terribly cold June. We planted the 1st of June, which for us is when we get away from, we get warm enough so we can get germination on this stuff. And it basically stagnated for us for a month. And so we ended up not getting very much growth till July and almost August. So otherwise we'd be into this a lot earlier, because it's just been, it's been a cold summer up till just recently. But these, we'd like to get over 2 pound gains on them a day. Sometimes we achieve that, sometimes we don't. In the grass this year, we were just under 2 pounds. Coming onto this stuff, I think we're going to be above that, I hope, just from the looks of them, but it'll be hard to tell till we weigh them in another week or two. So that's kind of a broad spectrum of how we get them here. We wean them, put them on a good alfalfa. Spring comes, they want to be 800 pounds. We want to put them onto either alfalfa or grass. And then we want to hit them with, if we have an annual like this, we'll do this. If not, we're graze them on alfalfa or grass.
How many times have you grazed? 2, 3?
This was the first time through it. And if we get regrowth, we get a little bit, but we're apt to have a frosty day now, and so we're probably pretty well done. We might bring the cows in behind and clean it up so that we get a little utilization that way.
Is that just the season, or is that the normal plan?
Pardon me?
Is that just because of this season and the slow growth early on, or do you just normally graze this once?
Well, if we would have had a warm June and we would have had growth, we probably could have got into it twice. But this year, it's just, we just didn't have the growth, and we didn't have when it did get warm, we didn't have the moisture, so it's kind of a combination. It's kind of a slow year for